Many years ago, there lived a young couple named Ngozi and Chukwudi who lived in the city. Ngozi had always been proud of her marriage. Her husband, Chukwudi, was everything she could ever ask for. Kind-hearted, hardworking, and considerate. But lately, something strange began to his constant visits to their neighbor's house. Ada, the neighbor, had moved into their community few weeks earlier. And as a new tenant, she needed some help. Chukwudi was really available to help. He's always going there to assist her, carry heavy boxes, and repair her broken doors and furnitures. At first, Ngozi didn't think much of it. After all, her husband was just being kind. But she became very worried when the visits become so frequent. Chukwudi will always find an excuse to go to their neighbor's house. One evening, after dinner, Ngozi decided to confront Chukwudi. "My husband, why are you always going at our neighbor's house?" she asked, trying to keep her voice calm. Chukwudi looked up from his plate, shocked by the question his wife asked. He began to stammer. "She just needs help with few things. You know, she just moved in. It's not a big deal." "Not a big deal? You are there almost every day," Ngozi said, looking at her husband suspiciously. "I hope it is not what I am thinking." Chukwudi frowned his face. "Ngozi, she's a single mom and she needed help. Please stop overreacting." "Did I hear you say single mom who needed help?" "Okay, let me keep my fingers crossed," Ngozi said. But despite his reassurance, Ngozi was not satisfied. She knew something was going on, and from that day, she began to monitor her husband closely. She started paying more attention to his movements, noticing how he always seemed eager to rush to Ada's house. Days passed. Ngozi's suspicions deepened. She became more anxious, more frustrated. Then one day, she decided to return home earlier than usual, hoping to catch her husband and Ada together. But as she stepped into the compound, she discovered her husband was not at home. She said to herself, he must be at Ada's house. She hurriedly walked towards the back door, leading to Ada's house. She didn't want to confront him without any evidence. If she was wrong, it will only cause unnecessary tension. But if she was right, she needed to know. As she approached Ada's house, she moved quietly, looking through the back window. Her breath caught in her throat as she saw what she had dreaded always. Chukwudi and Ada were inside, lying down on the same bed, very close to each other in a romantic position. They were talking and laughing happily like lovers. Ngozi stumbled back from the window, her heart racing, and tears rolled down her cheeks. How could this be happening? Chukwudi, the man she had trusted so much, had betrayed her. She rushed back to their home, collapsing into a sofa, and she cried uncontrollably. She thought they had a good marriage. She thought she could trust him. But now, all that seemed like a lie. When Chukwudi returned home later that evening, Ngozi had already wiped away her tears and forced a smile. "Hey, you are home early today," Chukwudi said. "Yeah, I needed some rest," Ngozi replied calmly. She was not ready to confront him yet. She needed time to think and plan her next action. The next morning, Ngozi made a bold decision. She decided to pay Ada a friendly visit. She took a bottle of chin-chin she had baked and few bottles of soft drink. and went to Ada's house. When she got to Ada's house, she welcomed her warmly, and as she sat down, she offered Ada the gift she brought for her. You know, since you moved in, I have not come to visit you. So today, I have decided to officially welcome you to our neighborhood, she said, handing the gift to her. She took it and thanked her. As they discussed, Ngozi's eyes went to the direction of the small boy, and immediately the boy came running into the room. The boy bore a striking resemblance to Chukwudi. The same nose, the same eyes. Ngozi's heart sank as she stared at him. Could it be this little boy Ugo was Chukwudi's son? She barely paid attention to her discussion with Ada, her thoughts consumed with a possibility that Chukwudi had fathered a child with their neighbor. As she watched the boy play, her anger and betrayal grew deeper. We will be having a birthday party next week, Ada said cheerfully. It's my son's 5th birthday anniversary. I would like you to come along with your husband. Ngozi smiled weakly. She struggled to hold back her emotions. Of course, she replied, her mind already planning something mischievous. She was angry, heartbroken, and ready to confront Chukwudi, but something held her back. No, not yet, not now. I needed to make this public, to make Chukwudi understand the gravity of his betrayal. The day of Ugo's birthday arrived, and Ngozi was prepared. She had already arranged with some bad boys to disrupt the event. Her plan was simple: cause chaos, confront Chukwudi, and make sure everyone knew what he had done. As she and Chukwudi arrived at the venue of the event, the party was already in full swing. Ada looked happily, greeting guests, but Ngozi's mind was elsewhere. Her eyes went towards Chukwudi, who seemed unusually tensed. When the ceremony was about to start, the guests all seated. Then the bad boys arrived as planned. They began to overturn chairs, knocking out canopies. The guests were thrown into confusion as Ngozi stepped forward, her voice trembling with anger. Chukwudi, what has come over you? She shouted. Why are you doing this to me? Do you think I am a fool? That boy, she pointed at Ugo, is your son, isn't he? I have been watching you and Ada. You have been lying to me all this while. Chukwudi looked stunned and confused. Wait, Ngozi, it's not what you think, he stammered. I can explain. Explain? Explain what? That you have been sneaking around with our neighbor, or that you have a child with her. While she was still talking, her eyes fell on the birthday cake. She noticed something strange. Written on the cake, in bright blue icing, were the words, Happy Anniversary. Her heart stopped a bit. Anniversary? She murmured to herself. Her voice barely audible. She had completely forgotten it was their wedding anniversary. Could this have all been a setup? Suddenly, the pieces began to fall into place. The birthday party, the cake, Chukwudi's unusual behavior. It all seemed to point towards a surprise. But why is Ada involved? Her thoughts were interrupted by Ada, who had rushed out to help calm the situation. Ngozi, please, Ada began. Let me explain. Ngozi did not want to hear what Ada has to say. She ran out of the place, crying bitterly. She went to her friend's house to calm herself down. She needed a quiet place to cool off. At her friend's house, She cried all through the night, refusing to eat dinner her friend offered to her. The next day, Ada and Chukwudi traced Ngozi to her friend's place, where she is hiding. Chukwudi decided to wait inside the car while Ada goes inside to talk to Ngozi. When she entered the sitting room and Ngozi saw her, she stood up immediately. "What are you doing here? How do you know I am here? Haven't you done enough?" "I am sorry for what happened yesterday," Ada said softly, sitting beside Ngozi. "You have every right to be upset, but it is all a misunderstanding." Ngozi, still in shock, stared at her in disbelief. "What are you talking about? I saw you and Chukwudi together in a romantic position. And look at your son, Ugo. You are right, but Chukwudi is my brother. That's why he's been helping me. I've been going through a rough time with my ex-husband. He was abusive. And Chukwudi secured this apartment for me to keep me and my son safe. Ugo is his nephew, not his son." Ngozi's heart sank as the truth is finally revealed. She had been blinded by jealousy, letting her insecurity get the best of her. She had accused her husband for something he had not done, and she ruined her anniversary by her actions. Tears rolled down her eyes as she looked at Ada. "I am so sorry," she whispered. "I didn't know you were Chukwudi's sister. I thought he's having an affair with you. Please forgive me." Ada smiled gently. "It's okay. I understand why you felt the way you did, but Chukwudi loves you, and he was planning a special anniversary surprise with me to make it memorable. We didn't know it will end up like this. Please forgive us." Chukwudi and Ngozi met in the city. They began dating, and along the line, Ngozi became pregnant for him. They did their wedding in the city, and only few members of the family were able to travel to the city for the wedding. And since their marriage, she had not traveled to the village. Ada was among those who could not make it to their wedding. That was why Ngozi did not know Ada was her sister-in-law. Later that day, Ngozi sat alone reflecting on the day's events. She felt ashamed of herself, but also relieved that the truth had come out. When Chukwudi came home, she apologized to him. "I am so sorry," she began, as soon as he walked through the door. "I let my jealousy and insecurity get the best of me, and I hurt you." Chukwudi smiled and held her hand. "I understand, sweetheart. I should have been more open to you about what was going on. But I never want my sister's ex-husband get to know about her whereabouts. That's why I have agreed with my sister not to tell anybody, including you." They both hugged each other, and Chukwudi held Ngozi by the hand, and they entered into their living room. They rescheduled their anniversary celebration for another date, a small but intimate celebration with just the two of them. It was not extravagant, but it was enough. Their marriage had been tested, but in the end, they had come out stronger. As Ngozi looked at her husband across the table, she realized that love wasn't just about trust. It was about communication, understanding, and most importantly, forgiveness. And for the first time in many weeks, she felt truly at peace. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.